Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, OnlyFans users and Pornhub watchers, welcome to the Manga Alert podcast. Today we have myself, Shrug Pod. You have Gear Third Manga Reviews, our other lovely host. Applause for him. We have returning guest, Tasmania. Welcome back to the show.
Tasmania?
Yeah.
It's Taz, bro. The old name.
Oh, well, it's Tasmania now.
I'm an OG, bruh.
I don't know. Have you seen the recap? You're Tasmania to a lot of people. No one remembers you.
Yeah, that's
You're
true.
old news.
I'm old news.
And finally, we have a new guest to the podcast, to the Manga Alert podcast. Welcome to the Manga Alert Hall of Fame, Mr. Buzz himself.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah, in 2 years, you might get a place in the recap, too.
Wow.
Let's go. I can't wait to get
All
animated by Gear.
Yes. If you can call that animation, yeah.
Get your own OC in the universe.
Put my Sonic OC in there.
It's my favorite bilingual celebration.
I'm fucking done. I'm rage quitting this shit. Let me throw my hissy fits. Gotta kill the titans. Though I'm just tense. Saw my manga eaten. Then punch Starman.
So today for the podcast, we decided, since we are all huge supporters of the Marleyan Empire, we decided to pay our respects to Attack on Titan, a very popular series which just ended. I did a review for it a few weeks ago. Well, I didn't want to get into spoilers, so I was like, hey, we'll just do a full podcast on it. We got a bunch of fellow Marley stands here. Of course, we have newcomer Buzz, Shrug, and Taz. We've all completed the manga. I think we've all seen the anime, every season of it. So, yeah, we're just going to talk about how we felt about things. Now, this should be obvious, but, we're going to go mad with spoilers. If you're haven't read the full manga, get the fuck out of here. Where I don't.
Oh, wait a
really
minute! Oh man, I need to leave.
Hold up! Wait a minute.
we don't have a structure at all. We're just going to be going mad. So yeah, I guess we can just get started. I don't really know who wants to say anything first.
I mean, I think Buzz, have you released your review for the series?
Yeah,
okay.
I got it out a few days after it ended.
Oh yeah, that's also something else worth mentioning. Who's Shrug and Buzz? They've both also reviewed Attack on Titan. The links to their channels are in the description. So if you want to see what we all thought generally before coming back, you can go do that. Taz quit because he sucks. So he doesn't have one.
I quit because I had a lot of stuff going on at the time. But yes, I do suck.
Okay, excuses.
Old news, Taz. Old news.
I know. I've been meaning to bring the memes back, but,
So, Attack on Titan is a story about a girl who falls into a tree and fuses with a bug.
A worm.
Yeah, she fuses
It's a
with
worm.
a prehistoric
Herman.
bug, and then they fight a lot of wars. And that's the
yes,
series.
it all started with a pig.
And she meets Eren Bird in the tree. Remember?
Oh, man. What do we...
Wait, spoilers! We can't say that yet. Guys, we gotta... No, we can't start off with just a spoiler.
If we're doing a true podcast, let's start from the way beginning with the...
Okay, yeah, let's just go chronologically. We'll have most things to say on the ending, but I guess we can start at the beginning with Attack on Titan.
Wait, what do you mean, chronologically? From whose perspective?
Oh, shut the fuck
Which
up.
person?
From the chapter.
Give me yours.
At the start.
From the chapters.
The start. Eren wakes
Chapter
up.
1.
He's like, oh shit, I had a dream. What does it mean? We kind of find out, but not really, but,
We found out some of them, because, I've seen a lot of breakdowns from the anime talking about it, but, I mean, we can always just, go, season by season, and just talk about those sections, so that way it just makes life a little easier for us.
All right. So Attack on Titan, I think, has probably one of the most effective, first few chapters I've ever seen at getting someone hooked. I think the introduction of just the world and the mystery they build up, and then the immediate threat of the Titans, or the Titans invading, that whole sequence to me, really, really well done. I think it's a little cliche and overdone, these types of stories, but I really think it's one of the best examples of this type of thing. I compared it to Demon Slayer when I read that, like the start of Demon Slayer, and like it definitely inspired a lot of stuff. So I definitely think it's really great.
I know when I first watching the series or whatever, I started with the anime, and I know I got like a lot of backlash in the past, but I actually did not enjoy the series at all.
That's right. I remember that.
I had this as like my I rated it 1 in Mal, and I'm just like I hate the series because like Armin's annoying, Eren's annoying. I didn't like Mikasa at the time, but like. What really changed it for me is when season 2 came out, right? And I'm like, okay, I should give this another try. And I really tried to look at it from their perspectives, and they have no idea what's going on. So I kind of watched it towards that aspect, and it has a lot of like character development, and I would totally be scared under that situation. So I have a huge like admiration for season 1 now, just rewatching it so many times.
Attack on Titan, it's one of those series where it can be really confusing because so much isn't explained, but when it finally is, you gain like a newfound appreciation. Like when I was reading the early parts of the series again, I was like, okay, the Titans, they're here because Bertolt and Reiner, they were sent to collect the founding Titan and all this. Like I knew everything that was happening and everything just fit, and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. Mm-hmm. Right? And
I really like how they told you stuff without actually telling you like anything.
Oh yeah,
especially in season 1. Like there's stuff that I'm still catching, like the part where Eren is just talking to Armin during the when they were going to shoot him because they found out he was a Titan. I didn't like when he made that face to him. I figured like knowing the story now, but it seemed like Eren already knew that was going to happen, so he's like preparing Armin for that situation.
Also, and like there's other stuff too that's not like part of the story, but like when like I noticed like when they're all like in the like the whatever, the mess hall, all the recruits are there eating, and like the first time we see them all together and like Eren punches Jean and all that stuff, like they're talking, and when they talk about the armored and colossal Titan, when they mention the armored Titan, the panel is just Reiner. Like it shows Reiner eating, and it's like the armored Titan. I'm like, what the fuck? This is like chapter 3. What are you doing?
I know.
I love that stuff so much in this series.
Like, when you don't know, like you don't notice or like know anything, you just don't think anything of it. I didn't think any of it. I didn't think of it for like a while until season 2 when I noticed that their hairs kind of look the same.
No, all this be. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I thought Reiner was the armored Titan almost immediately just based off of his hair. But Bert, I actually didn't know he was the Colossal until like a second before he announced it, like personally.
If only he had given the Colossal hair.
I know.
I actually thought funny. It was I thought it was Pixis when I first watched it. I'm like, this bitch Pixis acting like he's all goody goody.
Wait, but wouldn't he have like a mustache though? Like, imagine the Colossal Titan with a big stash.
Peeks
like,
over the wall. There's just like the Pringles can guy.
Although it is funny you bring up the hair because it's actually well known. This was in an interview in like volume 2 or something. Isayama actually has a hair fetish, so. All of the hair in the series is
that
significant.
Explains the Beast Titan.
Yeah, the Beast Titan is when he really got crazy.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Wow.
Oh, but speaking of hair, I found Annie's reveal to be probably the most obvious twist in the whole series.
Really? Yeah. I mean, yeah. Because like kind of figured.
At that point,
their face is the same and everything too.
After we find out that more people than just Eren are Titans, and the fact that Annie was the only one who didn't join the Survey Corps, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I was definitely stupid, so I was like, oh, it's Annie? But then, like, me and my girlfriend, because I got her into it, she was like, it's Annie. Like, there's no way it could be Annie. I'm sitting here like, dude, this took me so long to figure out. Shut up. And then I also fooled her because she kept on asking me who it was. I told her, oh, yeah, the female Titan? Yeah, it's Armin.
It's like, Armin.
I knew Armin was a girl the whole time. And I was like, excuse me?
I have, like, this goes into, like, some nitpicks I have of the series, but, like, I don't really understand the female Titan because, like, what if a man ate the female
I get
Titan.
asked that so often.
I'm pretty sure the
The Titan.
I'm
fruit.
pretty sure the appearance of the Titan wouldn't change. I don't think.
Yeah, but it's weird because like the Marleyans who know about the Titans also call it the female Titan. Like it's not defined by a power, just the way it looks.
It kind of they kind of tell us the power
Yeah,
without.
yeah, like it has
telling
powers,
us.
but it's nothing like this. Isn't like the agility Titan or anything. It's the female Titan, right?
Maybe would it just have boobies? Like,
or
is
like
that just...
okay, maybe if a man were to eat it, it's like the founding Titan where they can only use it if they're a woman. Like,
Oh, maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
It's stupid.
I mean, we do have an example of that with the cart Titan. Remember the old face, and everybody thinks it was actually someone else.
Well, we're getting ahead of ourselves. We're still
The cart ties just show up later, okay?
we're still in.
Can't get there yet.
Oh man, but yeah, season 1. I think it's just really great to look back on. Like it was such, like the survival horror element of the series was really strong back then. Where it was all like no one knew what was going on. They just had a bunch of kids out killing these things. They're all running out of gas, getting murdered.
I do think the most like effective thing, also the gas thing. It kind of reminded me of like The Walking Dead. Of like, it's like, oh, that would suck if just they had infinite gas. No, that's like a constant problem.
Well,
And
I
that
love
kinda-
how like they sort of evolve past it. Like by the end, like they're never worrying about their equipment and not working. But that's just because they've grown so used to it. And they've evolved so much.
Yeah. Well, but I do think like the survival horror aspect is honestly, towards the end of the series, you're kind of like, oh yeah, it's really not that creepy anymore. But there's this dude, huge shout out to this guy. He's gotten really big recently. His name is Kane Pixels, and he uploaded this like, he made his own like Attack on Titan videos. It was like historical footage. And so he had this old like film
I've
reel.
seen those.
Dude,
They're so
those
cool.
things are insane. This dude like animated this entire thing and he used like old war footage. But then he's
like they're so creepy though.
But then he's put like shade, like you look off in the distance and you just see this huge like the Beast Titan, just like his just silhouette. And then they like animated the part with like Eren getting the founding Titan, and it's so creepy. But it's like you sit there and you are thinking, honestly, Attack on Titan, when you think about it, is supposed to be really creepy, and I'm really glad that this is made.
Like, yeah, it's like because like the last parts of the series almost feel like you're watching an Avengers movie or something where like mass destruction is happening, but you're like, whatever. But the same type of destruction is happening at the beginning, and it's terrifying because you get a completely different perspective. It's really cool.
Now I do have
We're like, oh man, everyone died. Oh well, I wonder how it changes.
I do have a question for you guys, just concerning the first part. When you read or watched the Attack on Titan, did you think Grisha was evil? I personally did.
I thought Grisha was the Beast Titan almost immediately. That was my theory, like all the way up until
Honestly, I
it was like
can't
proven
remember
otherwise.
what I thought. Like there were a lot of things where I just kind of locked my brain off because back then I didn't do a lot of theorizing or anything. I was just like, oh, he's gone missing and there's something in the basement. I wonder what that could be. Like
I immediately thought that Grisha was behind all of the Titans because like he shot up Eren and now Eren's a Titan now, and I'm like, oh, this guy's evil.
Well, the reason I think I've ruled out Grisha is because when we first see the Beast Titan, he doesn't know what the ODM gear is.
Right? That's true.
But yeah, I guess we can move into that arc now. The Clash of the Titans.
One of the most amazing and epic seasons that made me watch all of it in like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, like that is such I think that's such an underrated part of the series because I know like everyone knows all the big Ranner and Bertolt moment, but when I was rereading it, I realized I forgot a lot of it, and it's so cool because this is of course when Zeke, he goes to that village and turns everyone into a Titan. So then all of a sudden there's Titans that just appeared and they're like, oh shit, there's something
there's another breach in the wall.
There's another breach in the
like,
wall.
oh,
And they go crazy trying to find it and they can't. And this is when like you finally get like almost confirmed that holy crap, the Titans are people, right? And yeah, huge moment. And we also, of course, we get Ymir's whole thing with her being a Titan. And that adds just more mystery because it's like, but she's not with Reiner and Bertolt. She's just someone else.
Like the scene where she's like looking at this can of food and he's like, what the frick does this even say? And like Ymir's sitting there like, oh shoot. And then she's like,
God, there's just so many hints. And I just love their like when they capture Eren and they're like on the trees and they're just talking. Like it's so crazy because like you only know what they're saying. Like you don't understand anything unless you've read more of the series.
I felt so bad for Reiner in that scene. You could just tell the conflict in his persona. I like at that point I'm like, wait, okay, so why are they doing this? Like just talk to them or something.
It's so weird because like, and the way they talk about it, it's so great because like we know now that they're part of this whole other country, but the way they talked about it, like our hometown, I literally thought it was just like a small village super far away. Full of
everyone did.
Yeah.
You're just sitting there and they're like, because you're like from our hometown, and then after a while you're just like, oh frick, that's like a whole other continent, you fool. What?
When I first heard that, I thought there was like a Titan society that like Titans just gained consciousness and they like reverted back to human form and just like
you mean the Promised Neverland?
Chilling. Yeah, like Promised Neverland. Yeah, I like that.
But I think, like, of course, that arc ends on another huge moment where Eren first uses the Founding Titan power.
Sheer coincidence, though.
Oh, yeah, sheer coincidence.
And this part is... Jesus Christ. This part was so insane because, like, Eren controls the Titans and you don't know why, and you won't find out why for a very long time. So it's really crazy when stuff like that was built up.
There's also a plot hole in there.
Oh, yeah?
Is there?
Yeah, so Eren... It's revealed that Eren can only use the power because he's touching Grisha's mom. Or Grisha's what?
Grisha's mom.
Then, later in that same episode, he uses the power again to have the power attack Reiner. But he's not touching the Titan anymore.
I kind of got that. Like, you know how the sun's kind of like power up the Titans? I think he kind of absorbed some of the energy, so he still had it left in him, maybe?
Yeah.
That's what I thought when
we'll
that.
Get into that, but we can chalk it up to the many things that we'll just never know because not everything is explained in this series.
Well, it is technically explained too
here's another thing. What I want to know, like, okay, so has Eren never touched Historia by accident in the
they've never touched. Like rereading it, they've never like even came in contact with each other.
But like he didn't accident.
Virgin
like what if
energy
he
from
like
Eren,
they like reach for the same like food and he like accidentally touches her and then he sees the future.
There was a
senpai, I was reaching for that.
No, there's like a couple of alternate endings that have been like officially drawn that where it's like it was just after Eren got hurt in like training, and then Historia came up to check on him because this was like back when she was actually concerned for people. And she came up and like grabbed his shoulder, and then they all just like they stood there, and he looks back and he goes, Grisha, and like Historia's just going, my sister,
my sister,
and they're like freaking out, and like that was like the only couple frames. I think it was just like a couple things that Isayama made, like what if this happened?
And I'm also like Eren never once like accidentally transformed into a Titan, like.
Well, I don't like. I think at that point, if you didn't know, you wouldn't like actually do it.
Well, like, the thing is, like, because early in the series, how it works is like he needs to cut himself, and then he needs to like have a goal to do something. Is how they explain it. Because like he accidentally turns into a Titan when he cuts himself, and it doesn't work, and then he reaches to get his spoon, and then he turns into a Titan. So like. Eren never had like a small cut, and then he's like, "Oh, gotta go to the bathroom."
Didn't he? But like in the third episode, he literally busts his skull open on the ground.
Yeah.
And then in the show, the one thing that I do appreciate about like the show is like the small differences that it has. But like you can see, at first you kind of think it's just like an effect, but you can see like steam coming off. like the blood,
Oh.
or like coming off his cut.
Oh wow,
But
I don't
then
think I ever knew that.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, that's
I saw it, like, just the other day.
Really cool. And going back to the start for a minute, like you said, there's a lot of differences between the anime and manga. One of them is that they reorder a lot of the scenes.
Yeah, I didn't like
Yeah,
the
I
way they
noticed
did that
that
in the
too.
manga at all. I didn't like that. It was so confusing too.
Yeah, I actually like. I actually like how the anime does things a lot more. Like, for example, like in the first part, like the very first few episodes, they basically show things in chronological order from the start, when the walls are breached, the training, and then what happens after. But in the manga, we don't see the training for like a
Until,
while.
like, volume 5.
Yeah.
Like, it's not until like the 20th chapter that you actually see this, which at the point that it finishes, because it's right after Trost finishes, like literally the chapter right after Eren
Yeah.
plugs the wall, you go into the training arc, and I'm sitting there like, I don't want to watch this
And
or read this.
now-
I was like, I'm just into the exciting
Now,
part.
I kind of understand why it was like, because in the manga, like, you have the hook readers early, so I understand why they went for the big action stuff right away. But I do think it's better in the anime because we get to, like, actually meet all of the characters before they're thrown into this crazy situation. So, like, you care a lot more about them in this part, and the stakes are a lot higher.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Well, there's also there's a couple like of other things. I think the two things in particular that I caught on to were the beginning when which this is like super, it doesn't really matter. They changed the name of the guy whose hand they give to his mom. Except in the show he's called Moses, but then in the book he's called something different. And when Shadis is talking to the mom in the show, he's kind of like yeah, like he did, like he was like a big deal. He died, but like he did stuff, and then he starts kind of freaking out. But in the book, he goes like, "No, your kid's death literally meant nothing."
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was like, "Golly, homie, what
nice,
the
nice
frick?"
one, Keith.
It was supposed to show the realism of the show and be like, yeah, sorry, his death meant nothing. So
Yeah.
But then at the very end of the first season, I think like it's pretty like close in adaptation for like season 2 and 3 from what I've
Okay, well,
read.
no, three is like very different at the start. The
really.
oh yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
well, I know season 1 it ends differently because when Annie and him are fighting, Annie like beats the crap out of him and just leaves him there, and then he goes berserk in the show and like grabs onto her. In the book, that never happens. Mikasa is the one that catches up, and then Eren just kind of like pins her. But then
Yeah, I think that
he's,
was just
like, freaking
to
out.
make season 1 more climactic at the end.
Yeah, because it's just the season finale, so I get why they did it. But I honestly like that change a lot because he was like kind of sitting there. He's like, I'm gonna kill everyone, and then that's why all these videos are being made now. It's like, Eren was like this from the start, and it's like, what? No.
I mean, like, when he was fighting
Oh.
Annie and, like, punched his arms off, like, 4 times in the show. But it happens, like, once in the manga.
All right, so then I guess we can go into season 3 now. This was interesting because this was like the first human versus human arc.
I call this the political arc, and I did not like the first half of this. Like the second half was
Really?
amazing though.
I think
You didn't-
I didn't
of
like the
season
coup.
3, you mean?
I didn't like of season 3. I didn't like. I mean of part 1. I didn't like the first half. I didn't like the coup scene. Like just starting a
Oh,
coup.
really?
Yeah, because that like I really like at that point I wanted to learn more about like the Titans. I didn't really care about the human stuff.
Well, I think like that what made it most interesting is, for starters, you know, I said this I think in my video. At first, like the Titans are the bigger problem, but then you know the human condition is also a big deal because they focused on that a little bit because they're talking about we have not enough food. So if the Titans broke through, that would be a big deal. And then I think it makes total sense for them to kind of escalate it to this point. I personally really liked it because I was sitting there thinking I like to see that, this is like an actual military. They're having to kill other people, and then they're sitting here like, we're not used to killing people, but it's like you're technically killing people already because of the Titans, and it's just, I personally really like that. But one weird thing I did have happen when I was reading back through the series, because I've caught up to the series before, because I remember when I was reading to like when they returned to Shiganshina, I don't even remember them fighting Rod Rice. Like, I don't even remember.
What?
Like, honestly,
How?
it's super weird.
What?
Like, it's super, super weird. Like, hear me out on this. I remember, like, getting to that part, because I was like, I know for a fact I've read this before. And then I just like got to that part and I was like, what the freak is going on? Because I don't know what slipped my mind. I don't remember the part of where Rod Rice was crawling on the ground and then they got to like that district and then Eren blowing him up and Historia chopping the huge thing of flesh and laying down going, I'm Historia, the new queen. I was like, did this just, how did I just not
How do you
remember
forget that?
this?
That's literally the last important thing she does in the whole series.
I know, and that's the thing. I'm sitting there like, how did that happen? I remember I caught up to it like my freshman year. So I was thinking, dude, how do I remember like everything going on with Astoria's father and, you know, the Titan Serum and Kenny? I don't even remember Kenny dying. That's the thing. Like, I don't know what happened, but then I get to the return. I could tell you how the return to Shiganshina arc went the whole time through. I guess. But then I was thinking, Rod Rice is just, what the heck? I don't know, dude.
Right before we get into that crazy arc, I think like I was saying, the beginning of season 3 is actually really different from the manga. There's like 5 or so chapters of just talking, and they like breeze through almost all of that. They skip a lot and they rearrange some of it, and I think of like they did that just to start the season off with a bang with the whole Levi versus Kenny fight, which by the way is like holy shit.
That was god tier fight right there.
That is some of the best
TV. What does it start with?
The Kenny versus Levi fight.
Oh, dude,
Yeah, episode 1 is like just talking, and then episode 2 is the big battle.
Did they take 4 months to actually animate that?
I mean, probably that's like honestly, that might be my favorite. Like, there's a lot of great Sakuga in the series, but that's probably, like, in my opinion, like the best looking scene.
Oh, I'd say it's
definitely
easily the best.
So good. But yeah, anyway.
So that.
That whole thing happens. They fight the giant Titan that was disgusting, and all of his guts fall over the wall. Fun stuff.
Oh man, it's my least favorite Titan looking. Oh my gosh, yeah. Wasn't it taller than the Colossal, if I remember correctly?
Oh yeah, it definitely was.
Oh, I don't even know how the hell he would turn. Like, it was something with his blood, right? Like, he couldn't technically turn into a Titan.
Literally, he was dragging himself on the ground because he was so heavy, and it like tore his face off. So when he leaned over the top of the wall, the front half of his body was gone. So all of his guts just splashed over it. Oh, jeez.
And he was a pure Titan, right? He wasn't intelligent, right? Yeah,
he was a pure Titan, and I think it's just because he was royal, it came out all fucked.
Okay.
But yeah, anyway, then they go to Eren's hometown, and nothing happens there. That's a really kind of filler arc. People don't like to talk about it much.
Wait, what?
Going back to the Levi fight, like the one big sequence. Did you guys know that whole thing was like storyboarded by one guy, and he did like
it took like a month.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, well, that's usually how it goes. These big scenes are handled by just one guy, and they
but it was like took him like 1 month to do the big alleyway chase part.
Yeah, for sure. It's nuts.
Which that's like really impressive.
Yeah.
Anyway, though, in the next arc...
anyway.
We're finally introduced to the best character, Peak.
Yes, sir.
What's interesting about Peak, for those who don't know, is that she used to be a middle-aged man.
Now she's a sexy ass girl with a great
our
ass.
loss.
The first time you see the Cart Titan, its design is awful. It looks like a pure Titan. You can't even I was surprised when it spoke. I'm like, wait, that's an actual person in there.
The quadriplegic Titan
looks like
because for some insane reason, Isayama's original design was for Peak to be like a 50-year-old man, and I guess some editors came in and were like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? This is your chance. And he's like, all right, fine.
They saw the Ohio Poco, and we're like, wait, change it.
The only thing wrong with Peak is that her last name is fucking Finger for some reason. Fucking Finger.
Not the fact that her name
is like Starfinger move.
Not the fact that she used to be a 50-year-old man. Not the fact that her name is actually Peck in the English version.
What?
But that her last name is
what?
Yeah, they call her Peck.
Peck
That's disgusting.
Finger. Oh.
Peck
yeah,
Finger.
they just call, yeah, they just call her Peck Finger, and then I was all like,
Peck finger.
I was like, you mean Peak? Like I was like, how do you mess that up?
Anyway, I don't really know what to say about this arc. Everyone knows it's
the
amazing.
basement scene though. When we learned about the whole fucking past with Grisha, and then like the pure Titans attacking like the first day, I was just like mind blown. Like I had to rewatch that all 3 episodes.
This arc just has like all of the best shit the series has to offer. Like it has the massive payoff at the end. You have some incredible action. The probably like one of, if not my favorite chapter in the whole series is when they like defeat Reiner and Bertolt in the same chapter, and it like came together perfectly.
Yeah, that was really
Also,
sad.
Erwin
it's
dies
defeating...
in this, doesn't he? In this season or this part?
Erwin does.
Damn.
Dude,
Oh,
I recently went back and I watched, because I realized I'd never actually watched the end of season 3, or actually season 3 at all, because I'd only read it. And so I was like, oh, I'd love to see how this looks, because I've seen clips and I was thinking I'd love to watch it all through. Honestly, the final 5 episodes of season 3 are probably, I kid you not, probably some of the best anime I've watched. I think the episode that's called Midnight Sun, I could honestly write a whole paper about it. That thing was awesome. It's not a very big episode. The episode before that is where Levi beats Zeke.
The best fight scene.
Eren beats Reiner.
Yeah.
Not Reiner, Bertolt.
Well, and they beat Reiner too. They beat all 3 of them in one episode.
Yeah. All one episode.
That episode, I think, has a 10 on IMDb.
It has a 10 out of 10. But then the episode right after that is the one where they're having to pick between Erwin and Armin. There's only 2 bits of music in the entire episode. It's literally just silent, like other than just dialogue for the whole time. And I was sitting there like, this is really good. The only times that they ever play music is at the very end where Erwin raises his hand, and then they play music for the remainder of the episode, and then the eye catcher in the middle. But that's it. And I honestly was just like, that. Like, you don't need music for this scene. It's so good.
And even like the one before it with the charge with Erwin's speech and like, holy shit. I'm looking now at IMDb. The top 4 rated episodes ever are the one with Erwin's speech, Perfect Game, Assault from season 4, Ozymandias from Breaking Bad, and then Hero, which is the one where they defeat all the Titans. So
yeah, that's considered like the best episode like in the entire series.
Yeah, just seeing it up there with Breaking Bad is hilarious. But I mean, yeah, it's pretty awesome. The one thing though, and I hated it when it first happened, and I still hate it now, is how the fuck did Armin survive that? Like,
well, it's it's possible to survive that because
it's not.
No. His internals were fine. It was just the outside of him that was burned to a
How
crisp.
were his internals fine? He fell.
He was like a hot pocket.
Oh, I forgot.
That's what I was about to say.
I forgot
it's like the microwave.
I forgot he fell.
Yeah, like the burning. Like if he could maybe survive the burning, I'd be fine. But he fell like so far.
Dude, he fell from like the top of the wall.
Maybe he's okay because the crust of the skin held the impact.
Yeah. His body was like just frozen and like I don't know.
Dog, my favorite scene is literally seeing like his arms fly back. He just goes whoosh. And, like, dude, I sit there and I crack up.
I also don't like
it's like when, at SeaWorld.
I also don't like when Levi stabs Reiner through the neck, and like, or no, it's when they blow his head off, and he's like, "Oh, I survived because I could transfer my consciousness to my dick the second that I died." And I'm like, okay, bro, just like I was really frustrated at that point in the series because, like, even though Reiner became my favorite character, I really like I just saw him as like a dick at the start, and like he just kept surviving over and over.
Well, now you learn like
Levi could have killed him in that point.
I think once I learned that was the author's favorite character, now I realized why he survived so much.
Yeah. And I mean, it was important too for his arc. And then, of course, we get the big Marley reveal. I kind of want to speed through it now because we still have a lot of stuff to say about how this series ends. But I'm sure the events that follow in the Marley arc are fresh in everyone's mind because we just saw it in the anime.
Yep.
They did
get
a
depression
decent
art.
job
Yes.
with the anime, all things considered.
I had no problem with the animation. Funny enough,
Like it was definitely fine. It was a lot better than I thought it would be. I mean, I think like comparing it to it is definitely a downgrade. But like just knowing, like
Looks
I mean,
fine.
these guys were like the schedule these guys were under was like brutal, which is why I was so surprised that it came out all right. And there were definitely
just the crazy thing is that, and I think we've talked about this on an old podcast episode, like. When we're sitting here and we're looking at the trailer and they use like none of the footage for it, that's what kind of bothered me. I was like, you guys haven't, but why aren't you using it?
Like the CGI stuff was decent and some of it did look really good, but the fact that they teased us with super smooth 2D scenes was just like what? Why,
yeah, that was
man?
some Ubisoft trailer stuff.
Since we're on the Marley arc, I do want to talk about the start to like. When I reread the Marley arc starting from season 4, I realized that that Falco said something completely different than he did in the manga, and it's just like I have memories of flying and defeating titans and stuff.
No, he looks up at the bird. He's like, "Holy shit, is that Eren Yeager?"
So I'm pretty sure that the anime might have an anime only ending from that, because he kind of wakes up the same way that Eren did in season 1.
Well, but he says he remembers flying because it was past memories of. Oh wait, hold on. No, he wouldn't have had past memories. I don't fucking know.
Oh well, when I first read that, I'm like, wait, so will he eat Eren? That's the first thing I said.
Who knows, man?
I know, right?
Yeah, but whole Marley Arc, we get Gabby, another one of the great characters. Whole parallel
Gabby.
to the start of the series.
By the way, all of you Gabby haters, fuck you. Gabby's an amazing character.
We stand Gabby. We stand. Like I said before, we stand Marley. We stand Gabby. Down with Eldia. They're all pigs. And
Personally, I really like Falco, and
honestly, okay. Here's the thing. Falco is literally the only character in the series who isn't a psychopath. That's my take.
That's kind of facts. Well,
Like-
I don't know. I mean, a couple. I mean, I was gonna
besides
say,
Levi.
you know what? I was gonna say Connie. I'm gonna take that
How
back.
many? Like Connie is like does Falco
mommy
even
issues.
kill anyone? Like honestly.
Technically, he ate Galliard.
Yeah, but like
Technically,
he wasn't conscious of that.
What about Udo and whatever the fuck her name is?
Sophia.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like,
What did Falco have to do with that? Oh no, wait.
No,
Hold on.
they're
What am I
precious.
saying?
They haven't
Falco-
done it.
yeah, because he's the reason that Eren and Reiner met up. He's literally that reason why.
Yeah, but again, like that wasn't he wasn't conscious of that. So I think he's the only good character in the series.
Oh frick! I've been sending the letters. Oh god.
No, Zofia and the other guy are the purest characters. They died early, so they didn't get any blood on them.
But why did
but never forgotten.
Zofia literally got crushed by a rock? But like Udo, we never got to see what happened to Udo though. That kind of
Udo
I was
got
like,
just
okay.
trampled.
You got trampled.
Yeah, he got trampled, but then they were kind of like.
Wait, who?
They never the guy who
Udo.
Colt was carrying at like during the big attack on Marley.
Oh.
He was like one of the the warrior candidates.
Wait, I thought...
We never get to see what happened to him though, because
Well,
obviously he's
died.
probably dead. But
No, he died.
I thought they were talking about like he's still like breathing.
No,
when
he
they
died in his
took him to
arms.
the doctor was like, yeah, that kid's dead.
Yeah,
get
they
out of here."
rejected him. Yeah, but
Well, he was already dead at that point. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
he died in his arms.
Yeah, they were just trying to be like optimistic and stuff.
Yeah.
well, dang, bruh.
Yeah, sorry. Not sorry. I mean, either way, if he lived, he would have died anyway.
Anyway, Eren is a villain now, and for some reason, a lot of people stan him. So
I do.
much so that people became so delusional that they actually thought Eren would win in the end. Of course, his plan to genocide the world.
Can we stop calling Eren a Chad? He's a simp.
Eren was never a Chad. I made a
Eren's
manga.
never been a Chad.
I made a manga like Simpson Chad tier list like a year ago, and I put Eren as a Chad. I revoked that. That never happened.
No
that
take
was a lie.
backsies.
He is a complete
Shut
simp.
up.
He destroyed 80% of the fucking world because for fucking Mikasa.
To save his girl, who's just gonna end up with somebody else now.
Even without the ending, someone who wants to genocide the world, they aren't a Chad. Come on, man. Like, what?
Dude, okay. Like, for all of these people, I'm going to say this to every single person that I'm very curious to hear this. I get some really stupid arguments, and I get told this probably weekly, either by my friends or someone on Twitter, for someone saying, Eren was justified, he's a hero. And I'm thinking, if you want to destroy the world, you are not, I said, you are a villain. You may have a different purpose for it, but you are not a hero. If you are trying to kill everyone, and even if you want it to make your friends look good, you're not a hero.
Like, you're not.
You are a villain.
You're not even a vigilante at that point. You're a whole villain.
And when
You're a psycho.
And when Eren's friends team up with, like, Reiner and them, and everyone's like, ew, it's the cringe Vengers, I'm like, what did you expect them to do?
I think what the fans really wanted to happen is they just, like, cry in their little corner while Eren destroys the world. I think that's what they wanted to happen.
Now, all this being said, I still thought the ending was kind of stupid. So
See, I
Yeah.
thought the ending was okay. I didn't think it was dumb. I thought it was stupid the way, like, some of the conversations went at the end, like Reiner smelling fucking Astoria's handwriting.
I think my first
smells like roses.
I think my first problem is when, like, when the founding Titan first gets activated, and it's just this weird, like, Eren's like, give me the founding Titan power. Then Zeke is like, no, because it's mine. And then Eren's like, no, it's mine. and then,
No, it's mine.
And then they do the whole time travel shit, and I know people are like, it's not time travel. They're just seeing past memories, and they can't be changed. I'm like, shut up, it's time travel. They literally go
changed
back
the
in
past,
time,
though.
and Grisha sees them. He's like, what? It's Zeke and Eren, my sons? And then
Eren's like, do it, Grisha, do it.
yeah, and
Eat
like,
eat them.
come on, right? And I was like, I don't know, the time travel stuff I didn't really like. I was fine with, like, seeing past memories. I mean, that's always been there. And they don't do this until, like, later, but also, like, I don't like seeing the future, because to me that's just kind of like,
Cheating.
what?
Cheating in story,
right?
yeah.
And, like, Eren apparently saw the entire future when he touched Historia's hand. Like, to me, it's just like there's so many things that you could do instead, and it's like you can't.
Yeah, he didn't do anything about it. Like, if he knew how bad everything
apparently,
was going
like,
to turn
you
out.
can't change the
could
future,
not do
and
that.
it's like, but Eren went back in time to tell Grisha to kill the children.
Yeah,
was
that's
like-
a major plot hole, and I don't like when stories do that a lot.
And the
I
thing
thought-
is, like, people will always find a way to explain around these things, and it really just comes from the fact that we just don't know all of the rules, right? I think that's
Yeah,
why there's so
because-
much confusion about certain aspects of the ending, because we just don't know, like, everything that's actually happening. Because, of course, the big controversial thing that happens is that Eren turns into a simp at the end, and I know we're saying
major simp.
like, he goes from, like, I will destroy the entire world to, whoa, guys, I'm sorry, I just did it because I love Mikasa. I don't want another man to be with her. That's gross and
Now-
wrong.
Now, what I thought of that scene is, I for that whole chapter of, like, Eren being quote unquote badass, I was taking it as, like, Ymir was controlling him through the paths, so, like, he wasn't really thinking about what he was doing.
I know, but that's the problem. Like, we'll just never know these things. And to
Yeah.
me, like, what I think is that, like, I don't see this as a complete, like, character reversal that a lot of people do, because I just think Eren was just a psychopath. Like, I thought he was just insane. Like, the dude was completely broken from, like, knowing the future and knowing the past and just all this crap happening. He didn't know what was going on. Like, that's what I took away, because there's so many contradictory things, because it seems like he's like, oh, you guys have to come get me and kill me if you want to stop me, and also like, oh, nothing can stop me, I'm going to crush every last human on the planet, right?
Like, I mean, I think the last, I think it's probably like the last 4 chapters. Like, up to that point, I'm saying, like, oh, this is really cool. Watching Hanji take down a couple of Colossal Titans, baller. But then I'm sitting here and they're like, Eren wants us to come kill him. He's like, he wants this. But then like a few chapters later, like earlier, he's like, you can't stop me. He's like, I've already done everything I needed to.
Oh, another.
I guess it. What?
Another part I don't like that happens a little earlier. It's like when they're trying to get, like before the rumbling happens, Armin is just like they're trying to stop the rumbling, and then Armin's like, wait a minute, guys, Eren might have a different plan. Let's help him start the rumbling.
Yeah,
right?
they did.
I'm like what?
Help.
Like, what do you mean? And then like they're sitting there like, oh, crap.
And then the rumbling starts, and they're like, oh
really
wait, he didn't have another plan, or we just killed the world, right?
Well, like I think there was that moment like right where Grisha and Eren were having that conversation where I kind of had hope, and Eren was like, I hate that plan. Euthanization's garbage. And then he's like, I'm gonna kill everyone instead. And then I was like, oh, frick,
anyway,
no.
Yeah, Eren kills the world. So what happens is that you have the rumblings being controlled because Eren touched Zeke, and now Zeke is just chilling there in the spine of the giant skeleton Phantom Titan.
Insane
When Levi
Castle
killed
World.
Zeke, when Levi killed Zeke, I laughed. I honestly laughed because he's sitting there going, "Hey, what's up?" And then like he just gets decapitated just right there.
Yeah. It's a weird. I'm frustrated at this part because I actually really like how Armin makes him remember. Because Zeke is like, oh, life is meaningless, we're only here to reproduce, and Armin's like, yeah, but remember life, and then he remembers the dude he used to play baseball with, and how that was like the only moment in his life that made him feel stuff, right? So, and that's what snapped him out of it. But at the same time, I thought the execution of that scene was really dumb. And the fact that like we hadn't seen Zeke for 25 chapters, and he only shows up again to be like, you're right. There's meaning in life.
He's like sitting there making a sandcastle. It's like, you know what? You're right. I'm good now.
Yeah. Oh man, I wish that was handled a bit better. Although I will say, before we get into the rest of the ending, I really, really love the scene where the battle at the port. That
the colossal one.
No, like at the port where they have to fight off. They stand off against the last of the Jaegerists, like Flock and.
I forgot about the Jaegerists.
That was a really, really awesome scene, I thought.
Yeah.
And Flock, man, Flock was, a piece of shit, but I thought his character was really well told, just how he was, from the start, like the start of his character is really when he finds Erwin and, they choose Armin, and he's, all conflicted, and then it leads him down, this radicalization, and he ends up being, a psychopath.
I'm gonna be honest, I forgot about Flock's character. He was so meaningless to me in Season 3.
I mean,
in Season 3 he's barely there.
Yeah, he's not he's not supposed to be a major character. That's supposed to kind of how he gets introduced, and like how you said, that's kind of his stemming point of where he had something go wrong, and then he just kind of went downhill from there. I mean, even the entire scene of where he's sitting there on the boat and they're talking, I honestly was really heartbroken where Armin and Connie go out there. They're like, we gotta go right now, and then their friends they have to shoot their friends.
Yeah,
dude.
I know.
I honestly, gosh, I was sitting there oh.
And I know Flock had a really cliche end where they think he's dead, but he's hanging on, and then he shows up again, and then they just kill him
dragging on the boat the whole time.
But yeah, I thought he was a cool character, and then then the whole ending happens. Oh man,
there's just too mymany questions for that.
So
but let's just
also, before we get started with the actual ending, I'm super excited how they're gonna animate the whole Ymir, and how they're gonna introduce the past. I'm really hoping for a really good animation from that.
Yeah, I'm very worried about the animation in the final part because
Colossal Titan's just a shit animation.
I don't even know.
It's a PS2 game.
The good news, at least, is that Mappa now, they have more time, and they'll probably have less episodes, but at the same time, the amount of shit in these final episodes is
It's a lot. I can't wait for chapter 121 to get animated. I really hope they do it right.
Yeah, well, hopefully, but
if Hanji dies in CGI, I'm gonna be really upset.
Oh, come on.
Anyway, so I'm trying to. So the second last chapter, that's when they. all hell breaks loose. They stop the rumbling, and then Aaron's like, no, I can still fight, and he becomes like his own weird hybrid Titan, and then he fights Armin, which I thought was cool. I thought it was cool having them fight as giant Titans, even though it felt kind of weird.
Did we all think that Reiner was gonna finally die?
Yeah. I also
didn't think he was gonna die.
I also didn't like how they use the smoke to turn everyone into a Titan, only for it to be reversed right after.
Yeah, that
was like
just really bothered me.
One panel a person, and then
because it really got me the first. I'm like, holy shit! Did they just kill off Jean, Connie, and Gabby just like that?
All just in one go. I was sitting there,
yeah.
oh frick, this is brutal. But no, nothing.
But then what happens is they're like, hey, you know how humans are always in the nape of the neck? Well, what if Eren's just on the tongue? And they're like, oh, okay. So they blow up his teeth. Mikasa goes in. She has a nice little vision saying goodbye to him.
What was that vision? Was she going through the past to?
No, I don't know. It's hard to say because
I couldn't tell if she was remembering
because it did feel like it was a genuine goodbye moment. But
I thought that was just
it could have just
her
been in
thinking
head.
about it and not an actual vision. You know what I mean?
See, I thought it was an actual vision, and honestly, that was one part that I honestly liked because I thought that was a very fitting way to, if they for the path that they were going, it was one of those things I was thinking, that was a good section. I thought it was very fitting. Just Mikasa was talking to Eren, and I bet that. I assume that's honestly something that Eren put in her head because I'm pretty sure from how I took it, I think that during that final chapter when him and Armin had that conversation, she was kind of like, did you see everything? And I think that was happening at the same time somewhat. And then that was, then hers just kind of came first. Which before the entire final chapter, I was thinking, that was good. Then the final chapter happened. I was like, ah.
Okay. Well, hold on. We're getting ahead of ourselves because at the very end of the second last chapter, she cuts his head off and then Frenches it. What was that?
Baller!
First Eren was a tongue, and then he got tongue.
Let's go!
Mikasa, that is disgusting.
I'm trying to when I was thinking of that scene, I'm like, did she kiss she I didn't know if I couldn't tell if Eren was dead or was he still alive during the kiss? So did he reciprocate
it shows
that
her
kiss?
cut it off. It shows the blade go through his neck and then she kisses it in the next panel.
My God.
Maybe they were kissing and then she cut it off.
Maybe,
what else did she do with that head? I don't want to know. Jeez.
Dude, it's just and then Ymir standing and watching in the background.
Okay. Ymir is the most
creepy smile.
Ymir is the most confusing character in the show. It's what did Ymir want? The reason she gives the power to Eren is because he hugs her. He's like, oh, you've never had anyone, and now I'm hugging you. And she's like, okay, do your genocide. And then she's watching the genocide, and she's like, oh no, I'm sad because maybe this is bad. And then, apparently it was all planned from the beginning, and she knows the future. I really have no idea what.
But what were her intentions? That's the thing.
Yeah.
That entire final bit is what?
At that point, I feel like everything I've read and watched was just disappeared after seeing that. I didn't know what to think, and I didn't know the direction the final chapter was going when I saw all of that. Was it all for nothing? Yeah. Was it all Ymir's little plaything?
Who knows, man? But then the final.
All right,
the final chapter.
Oh God, I don't want to talk about this.
So I have something about the when Eren hugs Ymir. I thought the reason why she sided with Eren and let him use the power was because she was still upset about Fritz being abusive to her. But then she says she loves him, so that's not it, right?
Yeah.
Or because
was it never the case?
Ymir was a simp too.
Yeah, Ymir was a complete
simp. Mikasa was the key. Okay.
Yeah, Mikasa was the key to everything. So Eren, it's revealed that Eren had a chat with Armin before this, the whole ending sequence, and he just made Armin forget it. And he's this is when he has his whole simp breakdown, and this is when like a lot of people are mad about what they did with Eren, but I hate what they did with Armin here, where he literally, he's like, I think the words are like, "Thank you for becoming a mass murderer for our sake."
Yes.
And at
Dude,
the end,
Why?
Literally everything Armin has done in the entire series has been for peace. Even when he's had to kill people, it's been for a peaceful outcome.
I think that's a flaw with his character because he tries to see the good in everything. And
I guess,
even
but-
I guess mass becoming a martyr.
But this
is,
just seems like such an unforgivable thing, right?
Well, when Eren, because Armin was kind of explaining, he's like, yeah, you did all this so that way we could be seen as this, and
Oh yeah.
the way that
Oh, hold on. That's a whole other thing where it's revealed that Eren's whole plan was to act like a villain, which is just so everyone else is seen as the hero. Which it's, stuff like that's been in like shit like Watchmen and all stuff for decades. But like, and I actually called that, even though it might not have really made sense, but then it happened anyway. And it's still like there's so many contradictory moments, and that's why I think Eren was just crazy because.
Well, it's just one of those things where, because after reading season 3, I've kind of come to the conclusion that this ending was kind of, well, because obviously it was going to help out Armin a lot more, because now he's like head of the peace talks and everything, and he's commander for the Survey Corps now. And because Eren, even when they were picking between Erwin and Armin, Eren was sitting there, and I don't know, because he didn't know anything at this point. He was sitting there and he was like, Armin's literally going to be the reason that we're going to save humanity. And then that kind of it helped me come to this conclusion, and it kind of made me like the ending a little more than I was kind of banking at first. But I mean, it's not a good ending.
At the end, did Armin really do anything? Mikasa did everything.
Well, it was just Armin's plan. Armin planning everything, because then at that final chapter,
Armin gave Zeke a leaf. That's what he did.
Yeah, gave him a baseball. You mean?
He was
baseball. Well, it was the leaf to Armin,
No,
and
yeah,
this is
okay.
the baseball to Zeke. Duh.
I will say though,
Pray.
my favorite part of the final chapter was when Gabby and Falco reunite, and she like suplexes him.
Just dude, that
Yeah.
It was such a weird background detail, and I'm like, all right, that was cool.
she's
Yeah, it's like a Resident Evil 4 QTE.
And I did really like the scene where like you see the like ghosts or whatever.
Oh, dude,
and
I
Levi's
really,
like the last one there, and he salutes to them. I'm like, oh man.
I really hope that gets
almost
animated well, because like I am actually hyped to see that animated.
Yeah, for sure. And but anyway, yeah. So then a couple years passed. Reiner's still simping after Historia. He's
Yep.
like,
I'm gonna
he's
marry
like
her.
huffing like her pen fumes. Like,
And at the end, the rumbling didn't even matter at all. They're still like hating the Eldians.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
like,
because they're pissed because Eren tried to kill everyone.
It's
Yeah.
like,
No wonder.
like Eren's whole plan was like, look, guys, the Eldians saved us, and it's like, but they don't care. They're racist. They're not gonna.
Yeah, they don't give a shit.
gonna
And even
change.
like, oh my god, it's so.
Let's just like drop a nuke on
Oh,
Paris
and
after
also
this.
I forgot. I'm looking at the panels right now. Eren is not the fucking father. Hell yeah.
Oh yes, that is okay. This has to be like the biggest like troll in the whole series. Like they were building this up for years in the manga. Historia's pregnant, and they just say it's some random farmer guy, and everyone's like, that can't be the case.
Dude,
Exactly.
it's Eren.
Yeah,
Eren,
everyone
yeah.
is like, it's obviously Eren. Like, come on now. But no, it was just they even cut to her giving birth during the final battle, and we're like, okay, this has to mean something. But no, it doesn't. It literally
Yeah.
doesn't.
I think what everyone wanted to happen, it's like Eren uses the Warhammer,
Yeah,
connect to the
that was a big
island, go
theory.
and pick up the baby, and it has the Beast Titan, and then the rumbling continues, killing everyone. That's what everyone wanted to happen. But no, Eren's just a Mikasa simp like everyone else.
Didn't somebody like make a fake panel of like Eren walking to Historia?
Oh yeah, I posted
yeah.
it. I posted it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that dude. See, I looked at those eyes and I was sitting here thinking like, sheesh, like what? I was like, why? That made no sense.
I remember seeing like a theory a while ago, and it's like, It was really stupid. Like Eren, they kill Eren, but then he's like reborn as Historia's baby, and then he just like walks out of the house.
Oh, I
Baby.
would suck.
And
That would have been
oh
lit.
man. Oh, and I also love Isayama. Like 2 years ago, revealed the final panel of the manga,
And it was not
and
the
the
final
final
panel.
panel ended up just being like a super tiny background thing. Oh man, that led
Was
to so
that the
many-
one where somebody was like holding a baby over their shoulder?
Yeah, and it says
Yeah.
you are free, and it was Grisha holding Eren, but it ended up being like part of a flashback or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that was it.
I-
It wasn't in the final chapter, was it?
I
Yeah, it
think,
was.
I think out of everything, the one panel that does not make sense to me is like during like the 3 years that they were living. Why the hell is Gabby, Falco, Levi, and Ayonkapan just chilling in Marley?
Why not?
Hey, everybody needs a
Levi's
vacation
not
once
doing
in a
any-
while.
they
Everything else
they
at
hate
this point-
they hate aliens. Like they like why is Marley even still around? I feel like it would have got destroyed. Like
No, see,
Yeah, that's the thing. Like
Armin followed everybody around and then talked no jutsu to everybody who was
it's
racist.
it's really hard to say. Like, there's so much stuff we don't know. Like, I'd like to see a map of the rumbling, because Eren says it's going to wipe out 80%, and because I guess that's true because he can see the future. But it's like, if he wiped out 80% of the world, I feel like Marley would have been like the first to go, because Marley's right there.
Yeah. Okay, well.
And like we saw, like
exactly.
most of the important guys, they like ran away on a train until the rumbling caught up to them. But it's like, bro,
Wait
like,
a minute. Did he release all the Titans from
Yeah,
the
he
walls?
released
Or,
all
the
like,
Titans.
Just the
There-
one?
there's
there
no
were
more walls.
there was like 100 million or some crazy shit. Like,
Then how in God's name is Marley still? Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't even think about that. How is Marley still here? There ain't no way they made it to that cliffside, and they're like, "Oh shoot, we've been pushed back." Wait, how did they get
And
there?
with that logic,
how did they get there?
with that logic, Marley is way farther than we think it is.
but like I thought
Because
like
that's why they like hopped on the plane, and then Hanji was like, "We gotta get to Marley."
Yeah.
And then this could be really
it
bad.
honestly it gives me some like late Game of Thrones energy where the characters are just like hopping around like the world in like a day. But yeah.
So wow, Mikasa really walked a long ways at the end, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, where
Oh,
we just
the
see
flying boat.
You see
duh.
Mikasa walk off into the smoke. I mean, obviously she like got a ride back with them, but
Yeah.
it like almost made it seem like she was gonna walk back. And also, when she does ride back with them, that would be like pretty awkward. She's just like sitting there with Eren's head in her lap.
Just like staring at it.
So talk
creepily.
about it.
Also, his body was still there from when he activated the rumbling. So do you think they like went back to get that to bury it too?
Probably
They
not.
just like glued them together for the burial.
Anyway, I guess this brings us to the most significant thing about the ending is that Eren is now a bird.
Eren is
Eren
bird.
is the bird.
Sir.
I don't.
Tataka, tataka.
I would honestly like to say
He is
that
free.
because I definitely said this in the video that Eren was not the bird. I had a whole bit for it, but after I reread it probably 5 times, and then I was like, oh my gosh.
Eren's the bird.
I was like, there's no way this is being implied.
He wraps
that
the
he's
scarf
bird.
around her, just
Yeah.
like he used to.
I didn't think, dude. There's no way he can be the bird.
There's-
There's just no way.
There's
Just
the whole
wrap
other
it
thing.
around her as many times as she wants, and then he like fluffs it at the end, you know.
Yeah, it's the other thing. It's like the same thing with Armin just accepting the genocide. Like I also don't think Mikasa would do that. Like she's like, "Oh, I love you, Eren. Thank you for wrapping the scarf around me." I'm like, "Bitch, she just like what?"
Now, the thing is about this, for some reason the manga for Attack on Titan still says it's ongoing in chapter wise, right? So and I'm
Yeah.
and I know like there's like the readers of Attack on Titan thing at the end, and like way at the end it says our battle is only getting started. Does that mean that there's going to be an alternate ending chapter?
I don't. Well, okay. One thing we actually do know is that in the final volume, like in the volume release, there's going to be extra pages added. We don't know what those
I
are.
heard that was just a bad translation, and there.
Oh,
was
that
just
might
gonna
be the
like-
case.
Oh.
But
like
Dude, what if this
interview or
straight
something, you know
up
what I
is
mean?
just like a huge
the school
huge
spin-off
troll.
that he puts at the end of the volumes, where like Mikasa is goth and
Dude, Goth
Armin's, like,
Casa,
in there.
dude, I will simper Goth Casa.
That's the true canon ending. Actually, a really fun Easter egg. If you like when Eren first like activates the founding Titan and he sees like memories of all the characters, there's like a really tiny square, and it shows Mikasa and Armin from the high school spinoff.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Yeah, it has goth Mikasa there, and a lot of people thought that was hinting at a high school ending, which honestly might have been.
That would have been much better.
That would have been fine.
Honestly, if this would have ended up being like a fan fiction that Goth Mikasa wrote, I would have been like, you know what? All right, let's go.
I'm okay with
I'm
this.
down.
It's literally like in Adventure Time, how the gender swap episodes are just the Ice King's fan fiction.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
It just ends with the head kiss, and then like Goth Mikasa puts down her pencil, and she's like, finally complete
My
after
Dojin
12
she
years.
is complete.
What if like Eren read the end of it? He said, "This thing sucks," and then like that's how it all ends.
He's like Mikasa, this sucks. Here's how it should have ended.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Then it's just another chapter, and it's the real ending.
And it's Attack on Titan 2.
Attack on Titan 2. Oh man.
Titans on attack.
One of you asked this before we started, but you were wondering if the anime will have a different ending.
Oh, yeah, that was me.
We talked about it a lot.
I really can't see that happening. Like, it's so rare that like a complete adaptation changes the ending. Like, unless
I agree.
I don't know. What Falco said at the beginning is kind of sus. Like, literally, like...
what did he say again?
He's like, I was swinging around, fighting titans and whoosh whoosh or some bullshit.
Oh my god! Hold on, that's a whole other thing. Falco turns into a bird out of nowhere. Like,
oh yeah, because of these titan
bird
stuff.
buddies
Like,
with Eren.
I know they like had little hints there, like, oh, I wish Titans had wings, but like there was really nothing in the story at all that really hinted at that until they needed it. It was like. Falco was like, hold on, I just had a dream that like 200 years ago there was a beast titan that could fly, so maybe I could fly too. And then all of a sudden he just grows wings.
Yeah, and remember he talks to Annie about it, and he's like, didn't you used to know some people who said that they could change their bodies by eating weird food? And she's like, what the heck?
It's One Piece.
Now,
It's the devil fruit.
does that mean Falco is the first beast jaw titan then? He was the first.
Oh no, wait, was it the beast titan he was talking about? That
No,
could fly?
Yeah, no, he was talking about the beast titan because that logically makes sense. But
does that mean all the titans can fly then?
I guess
all
if
the
they
Titans
thought
are
about
free.
it. Well, yeah, one of the Marley soldiers like, if only we had a Titan that could fly, and then that's when they like look up and their ceiling is gone.
Oh
Yeah.
god. I know we're backtracking, but I just remembered one of my least favorite parts from the whole final arc is when Connie just captures Falco and he's like, "Oh, I gotta go save my mom."
Oh, I hated
yeah.
that part.
Like,
It was
Oh
so
yeah,
bad.
it's like, oh, the apocalypse is going on, and you're like, I want my mom to come
And then-
back.
Mama.
And then Armin is just like, "Oh, I'm gonna jump into your mom's mouth." It's like,
He's
I'll
done that
save your mom
before.
instead.
Like honestly, that came out of nowhere.
And then-
I was sitting there like, what?
And then they're like, Connie, think about it. If your mom became a Titan, she'd only live for a few more years, and she'd be like a warrior, and she'd have to. And he's like, oh yeah, that would kind of suck. Okay, I'm cool, guys.
Okay, never mind.
It was like this whole unnecessary
Wait.
detour that I really didn't like. But yeah,
JK guys, sorry.
Connie's
JK,
mom.
my mom's okay. Well, we don't. What sucks? We don't even get to see Connie's mom.
Yeah,
in
we
the finale.
don't. Yeah, we don't.
Yeah, and he's
was
like,
such a
he's like-
build-up.
He's like, my mom is back to normal, and then it's like we never see her, and then Connie grows hair.
She probably
Yeah.
Is she
like
gonna have
turned.
anime mom shoulder hair?
She probably
No,
like. She probably turned back to normal, but like the Titan was still like her Titan form was like still supporting parts of the house. So when she turned back to normal, the house collapsed on her.
well, there. Honestly, I thought in the very final chapter, because when Connie had grown his hair out, I honestly thought it was Falco at first. And I was like, "Where's Connie?" And then I saw him like pushing the wheelchair, and then I was like, "Oh, that's Connie." Okay,
it was
that makes sense.
Isayama's fetish. That was
Yeah, the hair
everyone
fetish.
gets hair in the end.
My job is not complete. Yeah.
So he thinks. Did he just think that Connie was just super ugly the entire remainder of the series?
Probably.
Oh man.
Yeah, he was holding it in the entire series, and then
Wait,
Well,
I'm trying to
I
find
feel
Cotty
like-
with hair. Oh, there he is. Oh, that is weird.
I feel like as a finale, we should do a send off for our favorite character, Marco.
Oh
who
man.
Oh, God,
I think deservedly had probably to me, the most heartbreaking death in the whole show.
Fucking Ymir having to eat him for no reason. I feel so bad for Marco. Oh man, Marco.
After Marco died, it wasn't half the series it used to be.
Yeah.
Gear, just put up some
Oh wait, I was thinking
random
of fucking
picture-
Marcel. I'm dumb. I'm stupid.
Gear, just put up some picture and some song that dedicates to Marco's little half body, which I think probably my favorite joke in the entire series is when Isayama intentionally draws just like half of Marco's face, and like he'll be like cut off of like a tree or something, and like junior high or any like
that was in
promotional art
junior
with
high,
him.
yeah.
I think the most heartbreaking death for me
when
is
he was peeking
Petra's.
around the tree.
Petra's death hurt.
All right, well, I guess we should wrap it up now. So if anyone has final words on the series, if you want to give your score out of 10, I know we've all made reviews, but if you want to let everyone know.
I definitely still give it probably like an 8 out of 10. Like overall, I think it's like the ending was pretty rough to watch, but I also said this in my video. The first like 3 seasons are also spectacular and still I think really amazing. I just hate that it had to end in such a poor manner.
Taz?
Oh, I still give the series a 10 out of 10.
Jeez.
I love the direction it was going, and I'm not in like the ending to me doesn't really matter as much as more as the build up to why everything happened. So
Fair
I
enough,
still give
yeah.
it a 10 out of 10.
Buzz?
I would still give it a 9 out of 10. That's what I said in my video, and like, I mean, I was copying a little bit, but I still stand by that. I think it's a 9 out of 10. I don't really like the first season of the anime's art style, or like season 4 just in general. So like the anime would be a lower score for me, but I think the manga's a 9.
Yeah. I know most people probably saw my review, but I give it an 8 out of 10. Overall I really enjoyed it, and much like you guys, like the ending didn't really hurt it for me that much because I thought the journey was just so great. And like I know like some people it like ruined the whole series for them, and I don't really blame them because that happens with a lot of things.
It's really hard to talk about this series with people that haven't watched it because there's so much you have to like redact.
Yeah, I
especially
know.
like
And,
Historia's name.
The synopsis on Wikipedia, I felt like such a liar.
For as sloppy as I thought the last 20 chapters were, I'm still going to watch the next season of the anime. I'm still going to follow along with the manga. Like, I'm still... and, like there's a lot of cool shit there, too. I'm still looking forward to seeing. Like, it's not a complete lost cause at the end, so...
It's just super weird to see a series that had such a build-up and, like, such a really strong, like, 75, almost 80%, like, 80% of the series, pretty much. And then just that last little... Heck, I'd probably say 90% of it was really good. It's just like you said, Gear. Those last 20 chapters, it's like, what the frick happened?
Yeah, it got bleached.
Got bleached, yeah.
Holy shit, I just had a huge epiphany. So they made like a promotional video and it showed Isayama completing the last chapter. And then it showed what he was going to do afterwards, and it shows him playing Splatoon. Splatoon 2 came out in 2017, which is like around the time he was probably planning the ending. Just a thought.
Wow.
Yeah.
20. Wow. Well, he technically already had the ending ready because at the end he wanted to kill everyone, but because of being popular.
I mean, like it's way different from like his early ending. But I mean, because like I think the Marley stuff was happening in 2017, so he would have had like the ending probably planned out by then, and that he was like playing too much Splatoon, basically, is what I'm saying.
The Warhammer Titan was just a Splatoon reference.
Oh, we didn't even talk about the Warhammer.
The white ink.
The Cum Titan, dude.
Warhammer was useless.
Yeah, well, we would need like a 10-hour podcast to touch on everything. So
yeah, that's true.
I guess we'll wrap it up now.
All I know is that Attack on Titan is leading into Splatoon 3, baby. Woo!
The real ending is Madagascar. That's the start
That is true.
for the other 80% of
All right.
life.
Well, I think we'll end it here. Everyone, thank you for joining us. This has been the Manga Alert podcast. Next time we're gonna talk about. I didn't think this far ahead for this bit. Good night, everybody.
Titan podcast.
You can follow me on It's Chris Alex on Twitter, or at It's Chris Alex on Twitter. So I got some bumping stuff.
I'm thinking